Hello everybody. Now I'm going to discuss some question answer of exercise 1 of chapter 3, elements, compounds and mixture. So, first question. Write the symbols of helium. So, symbol of helium will be what? He. Always we write the first letter capital letter and the second letter small letter. Okay. Next is silver. Silver is Ag. Then krypton, Kr, antimony, Sb, and barium, Ba. So always remember the first letter is what? A capital and the second letter is a small. Now next question. Write the names of C. So this is the question. Clear? This part is question. So C means what? Carbon. Then Kr means krypton. U means uranium. Ra means radium. Fe means iron. And Co means cobalt. Clear? Now next question. Define elements. So it is a pure substance that cannot be converted further into anything simpler than itself by any physical or chemical process. This is the definition of what? Elements. Now next is a compound. It is a pure substance formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements in a fixed ratio by mass. So this is very important. In compound, the components, the ratio of the components are what? Fixed. Next, name the main metal present in hemoglobin. So in hemoglobin, which main metal is present? Iron. In chalk, which main metal is present? Calcium. In chlorophyll, which main metal present? Magnesium. And in chocolate wrapper, which main element present there? Aluminium. Clear? About all this I have discussed in detail about my but all this I have discussed in detail in my previous video when I have discussed the chapter. Okay, now let's have the next question. Now the next question is select elements and compounds, and these are given here. These elements and compounds given here, and you have to select. Clear? So I have done here. Out of that, elements are which one? Iron, copper, aluminium, carbon, uranium and silver. They are what? They are elements. And I have separated the compound also. So which are the compounds present in that question? Plaster of Paris, chalk, common salt, calcium oxide, cane, sugar. Okay, these are the compounds. Next, 4 difference between compound and mixture. Many differences given in the book. So 4 easy ones I have taken here. I know all the easy ones will give the perfect answer also, and you will find it very easy to learn also. So first one is a compound is a pure substance, but what about the mixture? A mixture is an impure substance. Second difference, compounds are always homogeneous and mixtures may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, now next. Third difference between compound and mixture. Formation of a compound involves change in energy, whereas in case of mixture, formation of a mixture does not involve any change in energy. Clear? Now next. Fourth difference, compounds have a definite molecular formula. Clear? Here the molecular formula, here something is wrong here. This spelling is wrong. The correct spelling should be molecular. This is the spelling of molecular. And what about the mixtures? Mixtures have no definite formula. So the best example of mixture is what? Air. Is there any formula for air? No, there is no formula for air. But very common and very good example of compound is water. Water. But there is a formula for water. What is the formula of that water? H2O. Okay. Now next. What are the characteristics properties of a pure substance and why do we need them? 2 questions are here. Clear? So characteristics of a pure substance. First is pure substances have what? A uniform composition throughout. This is the first characteristics. Second one is pure substances have a definite set of physical and chemical properties. And third, pure substances have fixed melting and boiling points. Now, next point. Why? The question was, why do we need pure substances? We need pure substances because they do not contain unwanted substances. And the second point, they are not harmful. Okay. Now, next question. Name the process by which the components of following mixtures can be separated. So you have to, what we have to do here, we have to write the name of the process. Like here, iron and sulfur. So iron and sulfur get separated by which method? Magnetic separation. Clear? Next is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride and sand, they get separated by which process? Sublimation. Clear? About the magnetic separation, about the sublimation, I have discussed in detail in my video. You all must have seen and you all must have enjoyed also. Now, next one is common salt from seawater. So which process is there to separate common salt from seawater? Evaporation. Okay. And the next one is chaff and grain. Which process is helpful? Winnowing. Clear? So winnowing process is helpful in removing chaff and chaff from the grain. Now next is water and mustard oil. So how water and mustard oil you can separate? By separating funnel. Okay. Then the sugar and water. How? Crystallization. Through the process of crystallization we can separate sugar and water. Next is cream from milk. Which process? Very good, centrifugation. Okay, so centrifugation is the process through which we can separate cream from milk. Next, how will you separate a mixture of common salt, chalk powder and powdered camphor? Means three things are mixed there and then you have to separate. Three things are given and you have to separate it. How will you separate it? So first, what will you do? Camphor will get separated by the process of what? Sublimation. In this we will take a mixture of common salt and powdered camphor and placed in what? Dish and cover with the inverted funnel and heat it. Then what will happen? After, as we provide heat, powdered camphor changes into vapor which condenses into a solid along the neck of the funnel, whereas the common salt is left where? Behind in the dish. Okay. Now next, now for separating chalk powder and salt, what we will do? We will prepare a mixture and we will add water to it, and then through the process of filtration we will get a chalk powder on the filter. Now for separating salt from water, we will do the process of evaporation. In this, the water will evaporate and the salt is left behind in the evaporating dish. So like this we can separate. Okay. Now the next question is, how is distillation more advantageous than evaporation? Clear? So the correct answer is here. So the correct answer is, in the process of evaporation, what happens? In the process of evaporation we get only the solid, whereas the liquid escapes in the form of vapor. But what about in case of distillation? We get both the components of solid liquid mixture. Clear? So in evaporation we get only solid. In evaporation we get only solid and liquid escapes in the form of vapor, whereas in distillation we get both solid and liquid from the solid liquid mixture. Okay, so this much is only for this video. More questions are there and that I will solve in my next video. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you very much.